Moses, peace be upon him, used to go to a far secluded place and bathe in the river away from people. So the Jews, being who they are, people of gossiping and slandering, now we know. Moses is not covering himself and bathing far away because he has small private parts. So one day Allah ordered the stone which Moses put his clothes on to run away. So when he got off the water, he saw the stone, the rock, running away with his clothes. So he started running after it to get his clothes and cover himself up. He reached the stone stopped, he put on his clothes, and he started beating the stone with his staff because he was so angry of what had happened.
This guy is giving me brain migraine. Oh my God. Hey, like see. Hey, oh my God. Hey, hey. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Wallahi, these mushriks are devils. Wallah, I'm not joking with you. They are devils. Look how they are how they are mocking the prophets of God. Have you realized they mock Moses a lot in their narrations? When you check it there, they mock Moses a lot. Have you noticed that? It's not easy. Wallahi. And people do take these people seriously. And this guy, to the extent he charges like $100 or $150 for consultation, half an hour consultation. Now, consultation with this guy, what are you going to talk to him about? Like, what is this guy? Is he going to tell you, I drink beer and I'm proud of it? Is that what he's going to say? What are you going to consult him for? Like, what is the wisest thing that can come from this guy? Ask him like him, like, the guy literally looks like a comedian. Literally. Wallahi. I'm not joking. Literally, he looks like a comedian. So what on earth are you going to pay this guy to get from him? Like what? Abu Sulaiman, thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that's a sci-fi movie. Yeah, it's true. It's just, oh my God. No, please, ladies and gentlemen, they said the hadith explains the Quran. Ask any mushrik out there, which verse of the Quran does that garbage hadith explain? Please, ladies and gentlemen, the mushriks, they said the hadith explains the Quran, right? So ask the foolish mushriks that which verse of the Quran does this garbage hadith explain? You ask them. Any scholar that you know. Okay, wait. Let me give you this. Just a second. I want to give you something. So to make it easier for you. Right? So let's do this. This one. Search. Write the hadith down. It is Sahih al-Bukhari 278. Write it down. Write this hadith. Write it down. Ladies and gentlemen, Sahih al-Bukhari 278. That is the hadith that Moses was chasing the stone. He was bathing, taking a bath and chasing the stone, right? Okay. Sahih al-Bukhari 278. Okay. So now, apart from that, they said Moses fought with the angel of death. Like who in his right mind will take such a garbage book seriously? Okay, well, let me give you that other hadith. The one Moses fought with the angel of death. This is the one he fought. He says, narrated by Abu Huraira, the angel of death was sent to Moses. And when he went to him, Moses slapped him severely. Hey! 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 Guys, I need my glasses. Remember, they said that this is a revelation, right? Okay. So Moses slapped the angel severely, spoiling one of his eye. He spoiled. Let me give you the reference. So don't think I'm joking here. It is Sahih al-Bukhari 1339. Write it down. This is how they insult Moses a lot in their hadith books, more than the Prophet Muhammad. Wallahi, I'm not joking with you. They insult Moses a lot in their hadith books, more than Prophet Muhammad. Yeah. You remember Moses was the same one Prophet Muhammad was negotiating with him when he told Muhammad, go back. They cannot do it. Go. Akhi, I know your people more than you. Go to God. Tell him your people cannot do it, so that you understand. It was the same Moses again. So this same Moses, it was time for him to die. The angel of death came. Look what he did. So angel of death was sent to Moses. And when the angel of death came to Moses, Moses slapped him severely, spoiling one of his eyes. Hey. Oh, Allah mutarik Allah.
God have mercy upon us.
I wonder which journalist was there recording all this activity. Which journalist? Who is it? But it was narrated by Abu Huraira, the father of cats. You remember Abu Huraira? It was narrated by him. I wonder if he was there. But listen, this is the same book they say it explains the Quran. Wallah, you have to be a psychopath to think this book explains the Quran. You are not okay. Wallahi. It says, he spoiled one of the eyes of the angel. The angel went back to his Lord and said, you sent me to a slave who does not want to die. Hey, so Moses is enjoying you. He doesn't want to die. Okay, seriously. Then it says, Allah restored his eye. He restored the angel's eye. You know, like Terminator. You remember Terminator? Terminator 2? Do you know the villain? The villain is made of aluminium. Do you know when you damage his eye or something, he comes back with a new one? So Allah restored the angel's eye and said, go back and tell him, that is Moses, to place his hand over the back of an ox, like a cow. For he will be allowed to live for a number of years equal to the number of hairs coming under his hand. So he has to go to the cow and touch the cow and try to do this to the cow and take some hair. Guys, a cow, is a cow like hairy? I never seen that. Do you see? If there is any, please let me know. You go to the hairy cow, like cow. I've never seen it. Okay. So a number of hairs coming under his hand. So the angel came to him and told him the same. Then Moses asked, hey, my dear brother, Kin Hassan, I see you, my dear brother. Greetings, we have to talk. Then Moses asked, oh, my Lord, what will be then? He said, death will be then. He said, let it be now. He asked Allah that he bring him near the sacred land at a distance of a what? Hey, distance of a stone throw. Like the hadith, even it doesn't make sense when you are reading the hadith. That's why I call it garbage book. Wallahi, it is garbage book. Wallahi lazim. Then he says, the Allah's messenger said, were I there? Hey, were I there, I would look at the English they used to even translate the hadith. This comedy. He says, were I there, I will show you the grave of Moses by the way near the red sand hill. Hey, this translation itself is problematic, but it has been approved by Saudi. Hey, were I there? Hey, were I there? What kind of English is this? Anyways, it's Sahih al-Bukhari 1339. I'm not joking. It's in the garbage book. Yeah. Okay. So this is how they keep insulting the prophets of God, especially in the garbage books. They insult, especially Moses. They insult him a lot. Anyways, let's continue. So these same people are telling us this garbage book is the one explaining the Quran. Yes, they are telling us this garbage book is the one explaining the Quran. We don't see where it's time for Moses to die, for the angel to come to Moses. We didn't see it in the Quran. Which verse does that hadith explain? Which is Sahih. It's authentic, by the way. Their scholars made it authentic. Yes. Yeah. They made it authentic. So let's continue. So I played the other video of some comedians. Hey, peace to all those on TikTok. I forgot. I think I didn't give shout outs to those on TikTok. I apologize. Peace to all of you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all. Shout outs to all those on TikTok. I will give you your befitting shout outs. Let me see. For those on TikTok, let me see who can I give shout out here. For those on TikTok, I see Quranic, I see Queen Mother, I see Imam for God, I see Wake Up, Ayah, I see Kanji, King Hassan, Praise Girma, Amin, my brother Amin, I see you. Muhammad Nurullah, and so on. I see all of you. Yeah, thank you all for the support. I cannot focusly give everybody a shout out. I see General, Star Plus, Apps, Jeremy. Guys, kindly share so other people can join, right? This is Baba Shoaib, the correctional officer, the guy who has the guts to tell you if these books are garbages. Yes, I'll tell you. Yeah, to your face. Yeah. You bring your scholar, I'll face him, I'll tell him if this book is a garbage. Yeah. Hypnotist Rosalien Batul. Hey. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. So I played some comedians also. They are clowns. And this was what they were talking about. They are talking about Bukhari.
They always attack Bukhari.
يا أخي Bukhari is
يعني هو عشان شيء أنا that's why this is the example I gave.
Because with Bukhari it's فهمتك صح.
They say Bukhari. How do I know Bukhari? What you mentioned is correct.
ما شاء الله. They collected them in a book.
Exactly.
Through a lot of يعني the highest scrutiny.
Exactly.
Of detail that you could.
Hey. This garbage book I just read, Sahih al-Bukhari I just read. They said it's the highest scrutiny. We have to line the scholars up and whip them. If this is the highest scrutiny you can ever do to a book, wallahi. All the scholars of the so-called Islamic scholars of today, wallahi, we have to line them up and whip them each. Wallahi. If you call this the highest scrutiny of a book, this garbage book, who burned these scholars by mistake, by the way? the highest what? Scrutiny. Hey, hey, these people, they can give people heart attack. There was a time I was reading hadith book, I was sweating. I was reading it and sweating. I needed to drink water to finish reading the hadith book. Hey, what kind of musuo is this? You call this you say this garbage book is explaining the Quran. You are not okay. Wallahi. Wallahi. No wonder they are mushriks. The mushriks are the ones claiming this garbage book is explaining the Quran. It says that our problem is Bukhari. So you bozos don't see the problem in Bukhari. Anyways, so today's video, let's go on this guy, the boy Abdul Kahar. I've done a video on him before. He did a video on one of our sister. Her name is Aya in UK. She did a video and he did a rebuttal. So I'm look, God, I'll get these people one-on-one. I'm going to tag him when I'm done. I'll edit the video. I will tag him because now this is what I'm doing. I'll be tagging them one by one in their video, right? I'm going to do a rebuttal on him. You see how dumb he sounds. How dumb. Correctional officer will show you how dumb these people are. Wallahi, wallahi. Baba's right. Me, I will show you how dumb their books are, and I will show you how dumb they themselves are. Watch me. Now let's go to the video. Let's bring that bozo. Where is he? The bozo, the latest bozo. Where are you? Come here. I also have to play Farid's video after this. So let me put Farid. Right? Okay, no. No, don't do that. Go back. They said the video I put is full. Okay. So let me remove one particular video, like this one, before I put another one. So those on TikTok, unfortunately, when I play the video, you are not going to see. So, yeah. Thank you very much. Mvuvi Baharini. Mvuvi. Yeah. That name. Mvuvi. Yes. Anyways, it's loading a bit. It's kind of sluggish a bit. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay, the video is ready. Sorry.
People who say rejecting a hadith is kufr is literally committing shirk.
With all due respect, which frankly isn't a lot, this video is stupid. First of all, sister, don't talk about things that you're not qualified or not knowledgeable in. You make yourself look stupid, and especially in issues of Islam, you could throw yourself into the hellfire because you said one thing haphazardly. Is rejecting a sahih hadith kufr? Yes. And this is for two reasons. One, if a hadith via the sciences of hadith is proven to be a narration from the Prophet ﷺ, then to reject it is to reject the word of the Prophet ﷺ. And I don't need to tell you why that's kufr. And the second, and this is the trap that you fall into in the video, if you reject a sahih hadith, you reject the Qur'an inadvertently. In your video and later in your comments, you note saying that, oh, these hadith are just the words of men that never met the Prophet ﷺ or never met Aisha radiallahu anha when she narrated these hadith. The problem is, if you reject the hadith with that logic, you have to reject the Qur'an, because how do you think the Qur'an was preserved? It was preserved via the same method, using those same men. The Qur'an was preserved chain by chain, person to person, generation from generation, the same way that the hadith were, using those same men who memorized it. Yes, the Qur'an is the epitome of this method, but the hadith were preserved in the same way. I'll give you an example. How do you know that the second verse of Fatiha is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim? How do you know that it should be Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim second and not Malik Yawmiddin second? Because somebody heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody that a companion of the Prophet heard from the Prophet that it was recited that way. Now, if you undermine the method of hadith preservation, you undermine the method of Quranic preservation. If you say the hadith has men who never met the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the transmission of the Quran has dozens of men who never met the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And listen, I hate targeting sisters or mentioning somebody's gender when I'm making these videos because I don't think it's relevant most of the time. But it's clear that you're motivated by misandry here, just this general hating of men. In the second part of your video, you undermine the work of the scholars and say that we should look at Islam ourselves. You wouldn't apply this to anything else. If I popped you on a ship in the middle of the ocean during a storm, you wouldn't turn around and start undermining the captain. You wouldn't say, hey, why does the captain do this? And why does the captain say that? And I don't understand it. And this captain just wants to do things his own way. Islam, the Quran and the Sunnah is like the ship of Nuh alayhi salam. And the scholars are the captains of the ship. They know how to steer the boat. And hey, if you have an issue with how they're doing it, then study yourself and then talk. It's so strange how in another matter you were able to say, I don't have enough knowledge. But then here you were so freely able to throw away the hadith and thousands of years worth of scholarship and undermine the Quran. Really think about what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. 1,000 years of scholarship, indeed. Okay. So it's now time for correctional officer. Like, as you know, I go step by step, right? So let me go with him for step by step.
People who say rejecting a hadith is kufr is literally committing shirk.
With all...
She was right. Or I would say she's right. People who say you reject hadith, that it is kufr, that is shirk, because you are taking up a legislation which is not found in the book of God. Nowhere in the Quran does it actually say if you reject any hadith book, aside the Quran, if you reject any hadith book, nowhere in the Quran does it say you are kafir. But the mushriks will tell you if you reject any garbage hadith, you are a kafir. So you are mushriks. So the girl is actually telling you the fact. But because you hate the fact, so you have to come. Then you act like you are not attacking a personality, even though you are coming for her. But you act like, no, you are coming to teach her whilst attacking her. So let's go step by step. You were about to do a rebuttal to what her claim. Now look at the stupidity of your first statement.
Due respect, which frankly isn't a lot. This video is stupid.
You see how he started? Then he told us she's stupid, right? Okay. So now check the second statement he makes to show you that he is rather stupid.
First of all, sister, don't talk about things that you're not qualified or not knowledgeable in. You
don't talk about things you are not qualified or you are not knowledgeable in. He's going to show you that he's not knowledgeable in this issue. Watch.
Make yourself look stupid, and especially in issues of Islam, you could throw yourself into the hellfire because you said one thing haphazardly.
He's going to do that, and he is going to throw himself into hellfire by saying the dumbest BS ever. Watch.
Is rejecting a Sahih Hadith kufr? Yes.
Thank you. Now he said, is rejecting a Sahih Hadith kufr? Then he said, yes, that is a legislation. These guys don't know the meaning of legislation, by the way. You are given a legislation, and now you are going to pass a judgment. And the last time I checked, Quran chapter 5, verse 44, Quran chapter 5, verse 45, Quran chapter 5, verse 47. Whoever does not judge by what God has revealed is a kafir. Zwalimun, fasikun, immoral person, disbeliever, transgressor. That's what God says. You pass on a judgment. You brought a legislation. You said whoever rejects a Sahih Hadith. Now the Sahih Hadith, who made it Sahih? Who? It wasn't the Prophet who made it Sahih. No, the Prophet has no idea about the books they have. As a matter of fact, their own Hadith books, the Prophet told them, لا تكتبوا عني ومن كتب عني غير القرآن فليمهه وحدثوا عني. He says, do not write anything from me except the Quran. And out of their naivety, they will start quoting other contradictory hadiths to say, oh, look, somebody wrote, yeah, he gave a direct instruction and command. There is no other instruction according to your hadith books which can cancel this statement. He said, do not write anything except the Quran. He didn't say, oh, do not write anything for a limited number of time, or do not write anything for like 2 years. He never said that. He says, do not write anything from me except the Quran. That's what the command says in your own garbage books. But because we know you guys don't even value your garbage books, you do cherry picking. So now let's go back to the argument. You just said it's rejecting a Sahih Hadith kufr. Then you said yes, no reference. Nowhere did you give the sister a reference to show that this, according to the Quran, this is where Quran says when you reject a Sahih Hadith, you are a kafir. This is the foolishness of these bozos. I want to show people and show the world. That's why they keep running away from me like donkeys. You mark it on the wall. I'll get them one-on-one. You see how I'll set these fools as a scapegoat in the world for the world to see. Mark it on the wall. So this foolish guy just went straight forward, thinking he is wise and knowledgeable, telling the sister not to speak on things she doesn't have knowledge or qualified for. But you, the bozo guy who is bozofying himself, do you actually know that you are passing on a legislation which is not found in the book of God? Quran chapter 42 verse 21. Am lahum shuraka'u shara'u lahum min ad-din ma lam ya'zanu bihi Allah. Do they have idols who have legislated for them of a religion to which God has not authorized? Do they have? So you are claiming this is kufr by your scholars giving that legislation when the Prophet himself didn't give that legislation. We don't find it in the book of God. As a matter of fact, Quran chapter 45 verse 6, God says, Tilka ayatullahi natluha alayka bilhaq. فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثِ بَعْدَ اللَّهِ وَآيَاتِهِ يُؤْمِنُونَ. In which hadith after God and his verses will they believe? Out of your foolishness, you still uphold man-made garbage books, comparing it to the book of God. When Quran chapter 17 verse 88 clearly tells you nothing can be compared to the book of God. But anyways, I'm not done dismantling your argument. I'm going to pieces you and throw it back to you. Back to the sender. Let's go.
And this is for two reasons. One, if a hadith via the sciences of hadith is...
The foolishness is when they add the word sciences of hadith. You bozos, who invented that? Where is the sciences hadith coming from? Prophet gave you that? No, ahi. The last time I checked, you don't have any direct hadith coming from the Prophet directly going and says, on my authority, write so and so, and give it to so and so. It doesn't exist. No hadith have on my authority. You only find haddathana Abu Huraira, haddathana Abu Fulan, haddathana this, haddathana this, haddathana this lost entity. That's how you find the hadith. You will never find a hadith which says haddathana Muhammad. No, Prophet Muhammad. No. You never find such a hadith. Now you are giving your reason as to why it is kufr without even quoting a reference from the book of God. But the last time I checked, when we say Al-Furqan, the Quran was sent down as Al-Furqan. Quran chapter 2 verse 185. Shahr Ramadan allazi unzila fihi al-Quran hudan lin-nas. Quran is served as a guidance, but it is to serve as what? The Furqan. So you leave the Furqan of God. You are using your man-made like intellects, your garbage intellect, to pass on legislation over people. And yet we don't find these legislations in the book of God. So now, you are proving a point. You say sciences of hadith, right? That is your first reference, right? Okay.
Proven to be a narration from the Prophet sallallahu.
Proven to be a narration from the Prophet by who? Now, first of all, you are first to always tell people that somebody is using a secular argument, but you are always using your hadith to prove your own points. What kind of foolishness is this? When we use Quran to prove our point, you say it's a secular reasoning. When you, the bozos, use your own hadith to prove your own point, you don't see secular reasoning there. Hello? But let's go with your flow and see.
Then to reject it is to reject the word of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I don't.
The last time I checked, God never says Atiullah wa Ati'u Nabi. You never find it in the Quran. Instead, Atiullah wa Ati'u Rasulah. because Rasul has one assignment to give you, to deliver the words of his master. God never said, Atiullah wa Ati'u Nabi. It doesn't exist in the book of God. Instead, Atiullah wa Ati'u Rasula, because the Rasul has to deliver a message, and that is the Quran. So as these bozofied people, how many books did the Prophet deliver? They said one. Akhi, what is wrong? Okay.
I don't need to tell you why that's kufr. And the second,
Still using your opinion to tell the sister why it is kufr. No evidence, no legislation, no reference, no article to say according to article this. It says when you reject this, you are a kafir. No. You just bring your bozofied haircut to the screen. I don't know if you want to show us who did the haircut for you. By the way, I have the best haircut person than the haircuts they give you, because yours I can even see inside your head. Bozo. Anyways, Abu Suleiman says science based on what you call it science. Exactly. Based on what do they call the science of hadith? The definition of science doesn't apply. I'm serious. I'm serious. Their stupidity of thinking they are intelligent is what is offending me. I'm serious. Anyways, let's continue.
this is the trap that you fall into in the video. If you reject a Sahih Hadith, you reject the Qur'an.
You see the foolish moron. How can you equate garbage books which is telling you Moses was having a small penis, and telling you Moses slapped the angel of death, and telling you your prophet married a 6-year-old girl? You are saying if I reject his garbage trash, is equal to rejecting the Quran. What is wrong with these bozos? Hey, now your brain is no more from Temu. Temu, we can find something good. Yes, some good carpets and other things. No. I think the shop they find this guy's brain, it doesn't exist anymore. I'm not joking with you. The shop you can find this bozo's brain, it doesn't exist. It's yet to be created.
In your video and later in your comments, you note saying that, oh, these hadith are just the words of men that never met the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or never met Aisha radiallahu anha when she narrated these hadith. The problem is, if you reject the hadith with that logic, you have to reject the Quran.
Look at the fool. If you reject the hadith with that logic, you have to reject the Quran. You foolishly don't know that the Quran is claiming to be from God. You foolishly don't know the garbage books claim to be from your scholars. That's the foolishness. So if I reject your foolish books, I'm not rejecting the book of God. How does their brain work? Hello? These guys are married. Oh my God. Seriously. Okay, let's continue.
Because how do you think the Quran was preserved?
Look at the foolishness. Because how do you think the Quran was? The last time I checked, God never told any servant of his to preserve the Quran. I dare any mushrik watching me right now, come and show me where God says he gave any servant of his an assignment to preserve the Quran. You foolishly quote the Quran chapter 15 verse 9. Inna nahnu nazzalna zikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. Wa inna lahu lahafizun. Chapter 15 verse 9. You mushriks always quote this verse, claiming that it is God and his angels who are going to preserve the Quran. Now you are foolishly again telling us, how was the Quran preserved? It was done by their Sahabas. Bozos. Let's continue.
Preserved via the same method, using those same men.
Who told you? Look at the foolishness. Using which same men? How? Preserve what? Quran chapter 35. Verse 31, verse 32, God is the one going to choose the servant he wants to inherit the book. He will choose. He didn't say, I'm giving the Arabs an assignment, or I'm giving the Persians an assignment. They have to preserve the Quran till he get, because God is always God. The God of yesterday is the same God today, and it will be the God tomorrow. So he's available watching you, and he will make sure the book get to you. I'm serious. Let's continue.
Quran was preserved chain by chain, person to person, generation.
This is the stories they have on themselves. Some of them will say it was preserved based on oral tradition. That is a lie. According to their own hadith book, Sahih al-Bukhari 2990 shows that the Quran was completed at the time of the Prophet, and the Prophet told the believers not to travel with the Quran to an enemy's country. If you're going to an enemy's country, don't go with the Quran. If it wasn't completed at the time of the Prophet, why will the Prophet tell them that? Okay, let's put that aside. And again, in Sahih al-Bukhari, another hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. According to them, when the Prophet was dying on his deathbed, he told them to bring a piece of paper and a pen so that he can write something for them. What did Umar say? Umar was telling the people, وَإِنَّكُمْ الْقُرْآنِ حَسْبُنَا كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. He says, while the Quran is with you, the book of God is sufficient for us. It clearly shows that since there is pen and paper, the Quran was already available in front of them. They had the Quran and it was enough. It was available. It was written. If the Prophet can say, bring me a pen and paper, let me write something else for you. Who told you the Quran was not written? After Sahih Muslim 3004, the Prophet himself says, do not write anything from me except the Quran, which clearly shows you the Quran was written at the time of the Prophet and it was complete. Okay, apart from that, you go to Sahih al-Bukhari 4986, which clearly told you Abu Bakr has a copy of the Quran, Umar has the copy of the Quran, Hafsa has the copy of the Quran. They all have copies of the Quran before the Prophet died. Your own hadith. Then out of your foolishness, you are telling us the Quran was passed down through memorization. What bozofied thought is this? Your own book is saying the Quran was there. And your bozofied thought is telling us otherwise. Who should we believe? Let's continue. Abu Sulaiman, thank you. He says, Moses with angel of death story must definitely explain Quran. Abu Sulaiman. Abu Sulaiman. Hey, don't give the mushriks hope, please. Abu Sulaiman, please don't give the mushriks some hope, please. Many talks English. Yeah, salam. Salam to all those who are joining, right? Thank you all. Thank you for coming. I see you, Jamila Ramzi. I see all those who are joining now. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, I see you, Cyrus Black, and all of you. A newcomer convert says, Baba Shaib, you have to slow down, handle it politely, my dear brother. Look, let me tell you from the standing point of view of the way I'm dealing when I'm dealing with a mushrik. Let me tell you why I'm dealing like that. So I'm going to show you a verse why I'm doing what I'm doing, so that you can understand whatever I do is justified, right? I don't do things out of ignorance or without my conscience. So when you go to Quran chapter 5, verse 54, this verse, it goes to you, new convert. I want to show you something, why I do what I do. I explain these kind of things several times in my videos, but if you don't understand, let me repeat it again so that you get to know why I do what I do, right? So I'm going to share the screen, put the verse on the screen, show you something. So here is the verse. Let me maximize it. So first of all, this is what God says. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu man yartadda minkum an dinihi. He says, oh, you who believe, whoever among you should revert from his religion. Then he says what? Then God will bring forth a people whom he will love, and they will love him. And and they will humble to the believers, mighty against the disbelievers. They will strive in the way of God and will not fear the blame of a critic. That is the favor of God. He gives it to whomever he wills, for God is encompassing and omniscient. Okay, that is the first verse. Now, I'm just showing you how a believer can be stern towards somebody else. But let's go again. The next verse. Quran chapter 66. Using the prophet as an example to show you something, what God told the prophet. Chapter 66, verse 9. This is what God told the prophet. He says, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu, jahidul kuffara wal munafiqina waghluzu alayhim. He says, oh, you prophet, fight the disbelievers, or you can say, struggle with the disbelievers and the hypocrites, and be rough. Waghluzu alayhim. Be stern, be rough against them. Be stern against them. For their refuge is hell, and wretched is the destiny. Now, that's the prophet being told, and that's my role model. Yeah, it's my role model, right? So when I'm dealing with somebody who is totally in opposition and has totally shown me the hatred he has towards me, I can't be polite anymore. The politeness is thrown out of the window because you don't expect those people to be polite with you. You might not see him calling the sister stupid, right? So the highest word I've used against him was what? Bozo. Bozo means incompetent fool. Same as stupid. So that is the word I've used. That's the harshest word I've used against him. But you are saying I should be polite. So I should be polite by doing what now? You understand? I just want you to understand why I do what I do. You understand? So everything I do, I can give you the justification why I do what I do. I don't do things out of ignorance, right? I have justification for it. So let's go. Okay. So let me put the verse aside. Yeah, thank you, JS, for the super chat. We are still waiting for the complete version of the Quran with prophetic commentary, first edition. Yeah, they don't have it. Exegesis of the Quran from Prophet Muhammad himself. They don't have it. They said he is the best mufassir of the Quran, and yet they cannot present it the full commentary that he did, his version. We don't want Qurtubi. We don't want Ibn Abbas. We don't want Bagawi. We don't want Saad. We don't want anything. We want the one the Prophet did from beginning to end. They don't have it. Are you getting my point? So yeah. Yes, new convert. I understand your point. Look, let me explain another point to you. You see, when God chose Moses as a prophet and a messenger, he chose his brother Aaron. Aaron was a gentle type of a prophet and a messenger. Moses was more like aggressive part, right? Your aggression does not nullify your delivery. No, it doesn't. Depending on the party you are dealing with. If I'm dealing with somebody who is polite and respectful, I cannot be harsh towards the person. Are you getting my point? I'm dealing with somebody who is mean and disrespectful. So when I'm coming to that person, I need to let the person know I can master twice what he has. And then I give it back to him so that he knows to come to against somebody with disrespect, it is reciprocal. That is how I present it. If you get what I mean. So I understand your concern, but my position and what I'm saying is not based on ignorance. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm doing it as a package back to the sender. You get my point? So I understand your point, but I'm just justifying my point to you. So it is your concern you are showing me. You get my point? So hopefully you understand. Okay, so let's continue. So this brother, let's continue with this bozo. Here.
From generation, the same way that the hadith were using those same men who memorized it.
You see where he flawed the argument? Who memorized it? So according to this bozo's ideology, he thinks the Quran was passed down through memorization. This is what a lot of their scholars told him. So ladies and gentlemen, those hadith reference I quoted for you, if you are dealing with any mushrik who tells you that the Quran was only passed down through memorization, please write the references again. I'm going to give it to you again. First of all, quote Sahih Muslim 3004, which the Prophet clearly told them, do not write anything from me except the Quran, which means the Quran was written at the time of the Prophet. Number one. Sahih al-Bukhari 2990, which the Prophet told them nobody should travel with the Quran in their hands to the enemy's country, which means they should leave the Quran behind and travel to the enemy's country. which shows you the Quran was actually written and compiled and fully completed at the time of the Prophet. Then again, we have Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. When the Prophet was on his deathbed about to die, he told them to bring a piece of paper and a pen so that he could write something for them. Then Umar said, no, don't do that. We have the Quran and it is sufficient for us, the book of God, which shows the book of God. Since he says we have it with us, it was there. If the Prophet can say, bring me a pen and paper, which shows that even the Quran was written, because he already told them, do not write anything except the Quran. Quran was there. Then again, Sahih al-Bukhari again, 4986. It shows that when the Prophet was dying, Umar has a copy of the Quran, Abu Bakr has a copy of the Quran, Uthman has the copy of the Quran, Hafsa has the copy of the Quran. So what nonsense are you guys telling us that the Quran was passed down through memory? What kind of foolish nonsense is this? Who is teaching these guys by mistake? Your own garbage books are giving us the answers. Anyways, let's continue. No, please don't go there. Mama de Pedro, don't do that. Please don't do that. Hey, why? Please. No. Don't go there. So let's continue.
Yes, the Quran is the epitome of this method, but the hadith were preserved in the same way.
What kind of nonsense is this? Show me one person on earth who has memorized full hadith. Hadith. Complete hadith. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you ever seen that? Show me one person on earth who has memorized complete full hadith. These bozos, that their brain, I don't know where they get it from. I'm telling you. But time is up. Baba Shrib will sit them down. You will see how I'll make them look like fools. Show me one person on earth who has memorized the Quran. No, sorry, not the Quran. The Hadith book from beginning to end. They don't have it. But out of their foolishness, they will tell you it was preserved the same way. Seriously, I don't know how their brain works. But because they like to talk on a fast pace, you might think they are making sense. You might think they are eloquent. You might think they are exceptional in logic. This is how they are. Okay, let's go.
I'll give you an example. How do you know that the second verse of Fatiha is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim?
The dumbest question. How do you know that the second verse of Fatiha is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim? The question is, you the bozos, do you also doubt? You the mushriks, do you doubt that Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim is the second verse? Do you doubt? Why are you asking questions like pagans? Like the mushriks will be asking you some of the dumbest questions. How do you know that the Quran you have is the one from the Prophet? Akhi, you and I are using the same Quran again. Oh my God. But Akhi, you and I, you the mushrik, you and I, we are using the same Quran. Now you're asking me how do I... So Akhi, so you doubt the Quran. You the mushrik, you doubt the Quran. Let's. So you the mushrik, it means you doubt the Quran. What kind of question is this?
How do you know that it should be Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim second and not Malik Yawmiddin second?
What?
Because somebody heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody that a companion.
Oh my God, hearsay. Somebody who had... Man, it's false. I just proved from your own hadith books. That's not how the Quran was passed down. The Quran was actually written. And that is why we have the Birmingham manuscripts and all. It was written. We can trace it through time and memory. Quran was written. It was not passed down through memorization. What kind of foolishness is this? Why are you lying to the people?
Of the Prophet heard from the Prophet that it was recited that way. Now, if you undermine the method of hadith preservation, you undermine the method of Quranic preservation.
You see how they compare their garbage books with the book of God? Go to Quran chapter 17, verse 88. check what God is saying concerning no book, man-made book will be compared to the book of God. This is what God says. God says, "Kulla ini jitama'atil insu wal jinnu ala an yatu bimithlihi hadha al-Qur'an la yatuna bimithlihi walau kana ba'duhum li ba'din zahira." So God says, say indeed, if the humans and the jinns will confer in order to bring the like of this Quran, because according to the mushriks, their garbage books, the garbage books they have is equal to the Quran. Wallahi, this is what they say. To the extent out of their foolishness, then they tell you it's a revelation. Yes, I'm telling you. The dumbest ones among them will tell you hadith is revelation. Yes. Look at the mushrik in the comment section calling me a mushrik. What do I associate with the book of God? No. I'm the one you call Qur'ani, you Qur'anist. And according to your garbage hadith book, Sunan Ibn Majah 215, it says the people of God are the people of the Qur'an. Ahlul Qur'an, we are the people of God. Mushrik. Frustrated mushrik. Anyways, let's continue. So, chapter 17, verse 88. It says, indeed, even if the humans and the jinns will confer in order to bring the like of this Quran, they could not bring the like of it, even if they were assistants to each other. This is what God is telling you. Then you created this man-made garbage book, trying to compare it to the amazing book of God, the book that the even jinns, they heard it, the recitation of it, and they were amazed. Quran chapter 72, verse 1, read downwards. Even the jinns, the genies were amazed by the Quran. Then you have these miscreants out there telling you this garbage book they have. The one telling you Moses was chasing a stone. You say it is equal to the... These guys, who born them by mistake? Huh?
If you say the hadith has men who never met the Prophet ﷺ, the transmission of the Quran has dozens of men who never met the
You are a fool. Your own hadith tells you the Quran, Umar has a copy, Abu Bakr has a copy, Usman has a copy, Hafsa has a copy. They met the Prophet and it was passed down. It's just... How do these people reason? Oh my God.
And listen, I hate targeting sisters or mentioning somebody's...
Don't say you hate targeting sisters when you actually targeted the sister. Yes, you targeted her, you called her stupid, and then you are saying you hate targeting sisters when you clearly put her on the spot. What these dour bozos don't understand about targeting people. Oh, look, I hate targeting sisters, but you're targeting the sister and calling her stupid and calling her lack of knowledge. Okay. Yeah, for this kind of mushriks, I have energy. Yeah, my brother Zul, I see you, Zulfikar. For this kind of mushriks, Baba Shoaib, I have energy. I'm just recovering from my flu, but yes, I can gather this momentum against these bozos. Let's continue.
Gender when I'm making these videos, because I don't think it's relevant most of the time, but it's clear that you're motivated by misandry here. Just
Is going ahead calling the lady as misandrist, right? Meaning a woman who also hates men. That's how he's calling her. Oh my God. So are you saying if men are acting bozofied in a bozofied manner, a woman shouldn't say it? If men act stupid, a woman shouldn't say it. Did she make a video to tell you she hates men? What kind of nonsense is this? Did she came out and made a video and say, I hate men? Is that what she said? So now you are judging her and saying she's a misandry. Okay. Let's go.
General hating of men. In the second part of your video, you undermine the work of the scholars and say that
if the work of the scholars is fraud, You have to undermine. Just like we undermine the work of some politicians. If it is fraudulent, you have to undermine the work. What is there to gratify it again? Now, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a constructor who has done a shitty job, would you undermine the job? Oh my God. These mushriks, I don't know how their brain works. If the work of your scholars is shitty job, it should be undermined. What is there to glorify here? I don't get it. If the work of your scholar is BS, it should be BS to be trash. Yeah, salam, my dear brother. Bilal Jibril, I see you. Salam. It says box office what? Okay. Ha. You know, in the Sunni religion, they want to silence women. They don't want women to even speak up. Sunnis, if it is left with Sunnis alone, they will ban all women from the internet. You see what is happening in Afghanistan and so on, right? Yeah, if it's left with Sunnis, wallahi, they will ban women from every cycle on the internet, right? Of course, it's not like I'm here supporting women who show their body parts. No, but women need to speak up also. They need to be heard. Remember, women are our mothers at home. If you give birth to boys, it is a woman who takes care of your boys at home. Yeah. So if you are thinking women are stupid and they cannot speak out there, then you are rather dumb. Yes, because it was a woman who nurtured you. You, the Abdul Kahar. You are a bozo for thinking that when a woman is speaking out against the corruption you have in your hadith books, that means she hates men. What kind of psychology is this?
We should look at Islam ourselves. You wouldn't apply this to anything else.
Quran chapter 17 verse 36, God says, وَلَا تَخْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. And it goes to every individual. So women can look at Islam for themselves, men can look at, and then they can consult with each other and discuss issue. If they see something faulty, they can point fingers and tell you. How is that difficult? Things need to be discussed. When things like this come in the public, you sit down and discuss. You talk about it so people can have opinions about it. That is why we discuss, we make content. Right? But if you're telling the women, shut up, it is only we, the men, who can speak out there. But yet these same women control us in the bedroom. I don't know if that guy is married. These same women control us in the bedroom. Yes. Yes. If you think the woman is dumb and she can... as a matter of fact, these guys, they said the woman is more like a devil, according to the hadith followers. Yes, they are classifying women as devils. I'm not joking. There's this guy, Ali Dawa, when he was saying, he says women, he mentioned something like this. He said women are like devils. So if you give them the chance, they can manipulate a man. I think I have the hadith. Let me find it. Where's the hadith? Fabricated hadith. Saying women will be much in hellfire. Yeah, just a second. It is Sahih al-Bukhari 1462, right? Yeah. Sahih al-Bukhari 1462. This is what the hadith says. Let me show you how their hadith books insult women, right? I want to show you. This is why they try to degrade women in public. They try to silence women in public. They think, because according to them, this is how they see women. I'm not joking with you, right? Okay. So now it is saying that after finishing, he says the messenger went to the musalla. After finishing the prayer, he delivered the sermon and ordered the people to give charity. He said, "Oh people, give alms." Then he went towards the women and said, "Oh women, give alms, for I have seen that majority of the dwellers of hell, fire, were you, the women." In Quran chapter 46, verse 9, the prophet said he doesn't know what will be done to him, nor to you. He doesn't know what will be done to you, nor to him. He doesn't know. So now all of a sudden, this prophet of the hadith, he knows that the women will be a lot in the hellfire. So he went to the women. He said, "I've seen that a lot of you will go to hell." Then the women ask, "Oh, God's messenger, what is the reason for it? Because after telling us to give alms, you are telling us a lot of us will go to hell." Hey, then he replied, "Oh, women, you curse frequently." Hey, so women, if you are listening, let me put it on the screen. Women, if you are listening, you like cursing. This is what Sahih al-Bukhari is telling you. Oh, where is it? What? I'm trying to share the screen. What's happened? Where is it? This one, right? Women, this hadith is a dedication to you. It goes to this hadith is a special dedication. Okay, so that's the hadith on the screen. It says the women ask. Let me highlight it so that you can see. For those on TikTok, unfortunately, you cannot see it, right? The women ask, "Oh messenger, for which reason?" He replied, "Oh women, you curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands." Hey, so you curse frequently and you are ungrateful to your husband. Hey, okay. I have not seen anyone more deficient in intelligence and religion than you. Hey. So here, according to the hadith, the prophet is telling the women that they curse frequently, they are ungrateful to their husbands, and they are deficient in intelligence and what? And religion. So imagine these same women are the one bringing up our kids. So, hey, and the prophet is saying this to the women. Okay. Then he says, "Oh women, some of you can lead a cautious, wise man astray." Now, this is the part that baffles me. If a cautious, wise man can be led astray by a woman, then how can you say the woman is lower in intelligence? How can you say she has deficiency in intelligence? Because if a man who is wise can be led astray by a woman, it shows that the woman is actually smarter. I'm serious. Look, let me give an example. I was with my kids in the car, my son and my daughter. So I gave my son a trash, like something like a trash. I was testing his intelligence. And I told him, open the window and throw it on the street. My son looked at me because I did a mean face. I was testing him. I said, throw it out. And he was looking at me and he's like, no. And I said, hey, it's my car. You are in my car. I said, throw it out of the window. He said, no. And I asked him why. He said, no, because there's on the side of the car, the door side, there's where you can put the trash. When you get down, you take it out, you put it in the main trash. So I was testing his logic to see. And my son told me, no, he will not do it. So then I said, okay, give me a high five. He gave me a high five. Then we got down, he put it down. Now, you see, I couldn't persuade him to do the wrong thing. Because what? He was intelligent. So if you say, if this hadith is saying that, listen carefully, if this hadith says, oh, women, some of you can lead a cautious, wise man astray. In order to lead somebody astray, you have to be twice wiser than the person. And this is why a lot of scholars will lead people to hell, because they are wiser and knowledgeable, so they can lead the one who is less in wisdom astray. Are you getting my point? So if you say the woman is more deficient in intelligence and religion, and then you again go ahead to say this woman can now mislead a wise man, hello, this is contradictive statement. That's contradiction. There's no way the woman will be to have deficiency in intelligence and then will go ahead to mislead a wise man. No, it doesn't work that way. No. But anyways, the Sunnis, they value this kind of garbage narrations. But let's continue. So I'm just showing you how this hadith insults you, the women. So if you are a woman following hadith books, think twice. This garbage book never values you, never respects you. That's why in your own secular cult, they don't want you to keep mute. Don't talk. When you see something wrong, you understand? Then he says, then he left. And when he reached his house, Zainab, the wife of Ibn Masud, came and asked permission to enter. It was said, oh, God's messenger, it is Zainab. He asked, which Zainab? The reply was that she was the wife of Ibn Masud. He said, yes, allow her to enter. And she was admitted. Then she said, oh, Prophet, today you ordered people to give alms, and I had an ornament and intended to give it as alms. But Ibn Masud said that he and his children deserve it more than anybody else. The Prophet replied, Ibn Masud had spoken the truth. Your husband and your children had more right to it than anybody else. Oh yeah, carry your own hadith books and go. And then let's go back to this comedian. Yes, that is the hadith books for you. Degrading women, insulting women. You see? Okay, let's continue.
If I popped you on a ship in the middle of the ocean during a storm, you wouldn't turn around and start undermining the captain. You wouldn't say, hey, why does the captain do this? And why does...
Yes, you will. What? Hey, is this guy married? This guy is a bozo. What do you mean if a captain just tossed me out of... Why wouldn't I complain? Hey, Allah, seriously, what? Like, who gave birth to these guys? Why would the captain just stop the ship and toss me out? I will question. I will be like, what did I do wrong? Hey, this guy. So I wouldn't question. Hey, I don't actually understand which brain they are functioning on. And these guys are on the internet. This guy have about half 500,000 subs. Yes, he has 500,000 subs. And you might think he's spewing wisdom.
The captain say that, and I don't understand it, and this captain just wants to do things his own way. Islam, the Quran and the Sunnah is like the ship of Nuh alayhi salam.
No, Islam is not like the ship of Isaiah ship. This guy is making me sleep. Hey, Islam is not like the ship of Noah. What kind of madness is this? Hey, the ship of Noah, how many animals they put? Two. No, it's not. Allah, these guys, eh? I think he's a bachelor. He might be a young guy because I can see he's like in his 20s. It's obviously he's a bachelor. This guy has never been married. Look at the BS analogy he's giving. Hey, my brother, Salam, my brother.
And the scholars are the captains of the ship. They know.
Hey, no, stop that nonsense. God says, Atiullah wa Ati'u Rasul. That's where it stops. You guys like to quote chapter 4, verse 59. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu atiullah wa atiu rasul wa ulil amri minkum. But God says what? فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. That's where it stops. When you have any argument in anything, when you dispute about anything, refer it to God and the message. It stops there. So stop foolishly saying the scholars are the captain of the ship. Who made them the captains of the ship? Bozo like you. Where in the Quran does it say scholars are the ship or captains of the ship?
Know how to steer the boat. And hey, if you have an issue with how they're doing it, then study yourself. And
Now you are telling her to study herself. She did the self study. She saw something wrong and she's throwing. Ah. Oh my God. If she sees something wrong, study yourself. She did. And that's why she was questioning. Guys, this guy, I need to tag him. I don't think he has ever been married. I think he's still single. He's a bachelor. Seriously. He thinks he's making sense, though.
then talk. It's so strange how in another matter you were able to say, I don't have enough knowledge. But then here
She didn't say, I don't have knowledge. She said, I don't have enough. What kind of bozofied English that this guy doesn't understand? The girl didn't say, I don't have knowledge. She said, I don't have enough knowledge. That's, look, oh my God. Baba Shuaib might be knowledgeable, but I don't have enough knowledge. Depends on the aspect of things I'm talking about. If I say I don't have enough knowledge, and you even cut her statement short, yeah, she doesn't have enough knowledge. It depends on the aspect she's talking about. There's always a context to a statement. You cut her short when she say I don't have enough knowledge. What madness is this?
you were so freely able to throw away the hadith and thousands of years worth.
So because you throw this garbage hadith, look how emotional you are. Look how then you went on a rampage. Baba Shuaib is online daring you guys. You don't have balls. I'm serious.
For scholarship and undermining the Quran. Really think about what you're doing.
Please, if you want to give him a wife to marry, check his level of IQ before you do that. Anybody here, if in case you want to give him a wife, check his level of IQ. There's a problem. He has a problem. Yeah, he does have a problem. We call it bachelor problem. I know a lot of these guys, when they are bachelors, they have the problem. And the way they reason, they think they are very smart. But you call it bachelor disease. This is not PhD disease. PhD, post heebie-jeebies disorder. Last time we talked about that, right? PhD. Right? PhD, when it comes to the religious aspect, that is post heebie-jeebies disorder. Yeah. So always the scholar, the so-called scholars who have the degrees, please, if you want to say anything to them, just say PhD. It's called post heebie-jeebies disorder. They show the symptoms, but this one is bachelor disease. This type of people. Yeah. For this kind of kid, his is bachelor disease. Anyways, let me play the last video. Farid response was saying something about their hadith books. These guys, how they feel, they seem to love their hadith books. I don't know what the hadith has done to them. They love the hadith. Like the hadith book is so unique. Like, guys, always check the scholars of the hadith. You see behind them, you see the lineup books behind them. Okay, let me put Farid's video. Check Farid here. Let me show you Farid. Where is it? Why did this video put 2 times? How is that possible? I only put 1 time. Okay, Farid, come. I'm putting Farid's video. Always check behind them. You see the garbage books lined up on the shelf. Like, I don't know. Like, you see. Hey, see, look at Farid. Look at Farid.
Whose written hadith did people follow before Bukhari, and where are those hadith books? Some of them are right here. There's a copy from Muwatta Malik. There's a copy of Musnad Ahmad. I got some Musnad Humaydi, Sunan Sa'id bin Mansur, Musannaf Abd al-Razzaq, and Musannaf Ibn Abi Shaybah. And I almost forgot Musnad Ibn al-Ja'd. And this right here is Sahifat Hammam. It was written about 50 years after the Prophet passed away. Share this video, especially with people that doubt hadiths.
You see, when he started talking, look behind him here. Do you see the books? Do you see the books? Okay. Now that is their signature, their trademark. Whenever you see a mushrik speaking, always look behind him. When you see those books, that is their signature. Number one, signature of the mushriks. Those garbage books. You waste 20 years of your life studying that, and you have brain damage. That those books give you post heebie-jeebies disorder. I'm serious. You see the young guy I played his video. He didn't have those books behind him, so he has bachelor disease. But you see people like Farid and so on. When you see those books behind them, they are the ones who have the post heebie-jeebies disorder. Yes, that book has caused a brain fog in their head. So there's nothing you can say from the Quran that can pierce into their brains. It doesn't work. So the brain has been kaput, turned upside down. Yes. I'm not joking with you. I'm telling you for a fact. So let's do this. So Farid, this is what Farid is saying.
Whose written hadith did people follow before Bukhari, and where are those hadith books?
He wants to tell us who is written hadith before Bukhari and people followed. Walid Taj, thank you. So Farid is proudly going to show us their comedy books, right? Follow me. He said, follow me. He's going to show you.
Right here. There's a copy from Muwatta Malik. There's a copy of Musnad Ahmad.
They have Muwatta Malik, Musnad Ahmad.
Got some Musnad Humaydi, Sunan Sa'id bin Mansur, Musannaf Abd al-Razzaq, and Musannaf Ibn Abi Shaybah. And I almost forgot Musnad Ibn al-Ja'd. And this right here is Sahifat Hammam. It was written about 50 years after the Prophet passed.
50 years after the Prophet. They are here blaming the Christians for writing the Gospels 40 years after Jesus. The irony. They are here blaming the Christians for writing the Gospels 40 years after Jesus. And here is he proudly showing us 50 years after the Prophet. Hey, Allah, these mushriks. Nothing can be done. Nothing can be done. Otilo. Yoruba people will say Otita is done. Nothing can be done. Hey.
Away. Share this video, especially with people that doubt hadiths.
This video is a special dedication to us. Farid, thank you. We've seen it.
God have mercy upon us.
Farid, we got the message. The ones who doubted it, we doubted these books. Thank you. We got the message. At least you showed us book 50 years after the Prophet. It will help us to move the doubt closer, because we are thinking of the 200 years being Imam Bukhari. So at least 50 years after the Prophet, we are getting closer, right? It's okay. We will manage with 50 years. It's not bad. Umar Satauru says, just as the Quran said, bunch of donkeys carrying volumes of book, devoid of exercising their logic and reasoning. Fact. Perfectly said. Fact. Yeah. Fact. Yeah. Salam to you, Ines Dredi. So, guys, I'm done with Farid. With Farid, I don't need to say anything. Farid doesn't need any introduction. I don't need to say anything against Farid. Farid is like a brother, right? He's a mushrik brother, right? When I say mushrik brother, Farid is that kind of nice guy among the mushriks who is, friendly, can have conversation with you, but still that doesn't stop him from being a mushrik. Yeah. Farid from some time to time, sometimes he comments on my page, on my YouTube page, right? And we have had discussions before on Clubhouse in the past. Yeah. So Farid is a cool guy. But this is a special message he dedicated to us. So, Farid, hi, we got your message. Carrying worthless books of years of study, which will not benefit you. Hey. Anyways, guys, the reason why I couldn't join TikTok stream on this stream is because TikTok warned me of putting my phone number. Hey, peace to you, Mohammed. TikTok warned me of putting my phone number. TikTok warned me of sharing a video on my screen. TikTok warned me of doing some unusual activities. So they restricted my session to be able to connect it to the other app. So now I'm streaming TikTok directly from my phone, right? So when I end the live stream on YouTube and Facebook, I will stay directly on my phone, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is becoming strict and stricter day by day, right? They are becoming strict and stricter day by day. So it's becoming very annoying. So, ladies and gentlemen, I opened the phone lines, right? So now I can put the phone lines on my screen. Let me see, because I'm not streaming TikTok on here, but you can call. I wrote it in in letters, right? I wrote it in letters, so you can still read it. It's +358 466 803144. You can call via WhatsApp. Or I send you the invitation link. Is it copy? Okay, I send you the link. For those on YouTube and YouTube, Kick, Twitch, that's a link. You can join using that link as a guest. So for those on YouTube, the moderators, please, if you can just pin it. I don't know. Is it possible to pin? You can pin it so people can join. But what I'm talking about is I'm still trying to work my way around. Hopefully, Mohammed will help me to connect with this guy, Abu Bara. I would love to do a debate with that guy, but I think he is not okay with the person who is going to moderate for us. So we need to find a neutral person, or maybe a neutral platform that I can do a debate with him, right? And this guy, out of his arrogance, he say, "Oh, I'm not even going to reference hadith books. I'm going to you go in the Quran alone. You come and go to the Quran. Don't worry, Baba correctional officer will get you. You come and quote the Quran in front of correctional officer. We check." Yeah, I don't know the pinning of the message myself. I cannot pin message. I don't know why. I cannot pin it on YouTube. I don't know. It doesn't allow pinning a link. By the way, I've spent 1 hour 45 minutes. I might do 2 hours and end the stream and then go to TikTok, right? Baba, he doesn't debate men. He's only interested in good-looking women with makeup. Abu Bakr claims he has thrown a challenge against Quran alone followers. I'm very, very beefed up, ready for such a person. I saw his line of argument. Very, 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 very dumb. Very, very dumb argument. Can we call in or not yet? You can call in. That's what I just said. You can call in. I even put the link for invite. Right? Let me see if I have something I can do here.
Hello?
Yeah, salam, my brother.
Salam. Yeah, sorry, I just joined, so I didn't see if you said we can call or not.
You just joined, so you didn't watch from the beginning, I guess.
No.
Okay. So, what do you have for me?
So I had a couple questions, if you can answer them.
Tell me about you first.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My name's Hamid. I'm calling from Jordan.
Okay. How may I help you, Hamid?
Yeah, could you please elaborate on Dabba al-Ard? Because I know the Mushriks, they have hadiths about it that talk about it being a monster that come and they do certain things. But I know there's some Quran verses about it.
Yeah.
So I just want to know from a Quran only position.
In a nutshell, we are talking about the AI. But let me give you a breakdown on why it is the AI. So that is Quran chapter 27, verse 82, when God says, when the statement comes across them, we will produce for them a Dabba. That is the Dabbatan from the ard. Now, this is not coming from the water, it's coming from the ard. Now, when you read Quran chapter 24, verse 45, it tells you that God created every creature, every Dabbatin from what? From water. Right? That is chapter 24, verse 45. But this particular Dabba God is talking about is something which is going to come from the earth, right? And it will be produced, it will be brought out from the earth for us. Now, some people might have the confusion say, is it God going to do it or is it people going to do it? So let's take the case of Noah alayhi salam. When you read chapter 36, verse 41 to 42, God says, a sign for them was that we carried their descendants in the loaded ship and we created the likeness of it for them, which they ride. Now, let's use this analogy here. Chapter 36, verse 41, Surah to Yasin. When you read 41 to 42, the way God is talking, he kept using the word we. But you and I know that it was Noah who created the ship, right? Are you listening?
Yeah.
But the reason why God is using we, because it is based on his knowledge and inspiration that he gave to the human being. That's why it says, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. Right? So he is the one who can give you knowledge to do certain things. So now, the reason why I'm quoting chapter 36, verse 41 to 42 is to show you that according to the sign of God, it says a sign for them was that we carried their descendants in the loaded ship and we created the likes of it for them, which they ride. So the likes of it, God is saying we created the likes. But as a matter of fact, we never seen God come down to create any ship. But which clearly shows you his knowledge is what is used to create those ships. So now let's go back to 2782 concerning the Dabba. When the statement or the word, the speech come across them, we will produce for them or we will bring forth for them a Dabba. This Dabba, in the time of the prophet, they cannot understand it as, because it's a prophecy. Listen carefully. It is a prophecy. They cannot understand it to be AI or a robot or anything, because in their time, robot never existed. This is a prophecy for the future generations. So if this thing can come from the earth, and we all know the AI, if you have watched a movie like Transcendency, if you have watched movies like let's use Transcendence, acted by Johnny Depp. Have you seen the movie before?
No, but I've heard of it.
Try to, after this, try to watch the movie. This will all make sense to you. When God says we will bring forth or produce for them what? A Dabba. This Dabba, when you look at it in a deeper meaning, not just a literal meaning. The literal meaning is a creature, but even a robot is a creature, but not in a literal sense. If you look at it in a non-literal sense, right? By the definition. From the earth, telling them that the people were not certain of our verses. And right now we are at the age where takes the AI to let people know something of certainty concerning the verses of God. Right? We are going to move to a direction where earth materials will be used to create a creature, which is the robot in a human form, a cyborg form, where it can communicate with you, break down topics of the Quran, issues in the Quran, and let you know you are not actually certain about the verses of God. So from our perspectives, when you take the way God is explaining issues in the Quran, we have no cause to say it was to go ahead to say it's a creature in terms of creature as to the ones God created from water. No, not that type of creature. We are talking about creature in terms of a tool, an instrument, which is the AI or a robot in that course. So that is the breakdown to that verse.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because even today when I'm debating a lot of Sunnis, we use AIs like ChatGPT to prove our points.
Yeah. And we are actually going by 2030. I think the prediction was 2030 to 2050. We will have real look like creatures, robots in a human form and so on, talking to us, discussing issues with you. And they will make you
that's crazy.
and they will make you aware. They will let you be aware that you are not certain of the verses of God. If you have watched any of my video that I did with AI, I have a couple of videos I did. I put it on my YouTube. It's on my YouTube. People who watch my TikTokers, they know that. People who watch me, they know that, right? They know, for instance, the way I interact with. I have a special customized AI that I talk to, right? And we do discuss about issues. We do break down. Sometimes it will give me its point of view, and I can puncture the holes in the narrative and show him the contradiction in what he's saying. Then it will get to a point. Do you know what the AI is doing as time goes on? It's learning from you and it's fixing its mistakes going forward. So the more it's learning, the more dangerous it becomes.
But can't this also be seen as a mercy from God? Because we have an AI that's allowing people to understand that their knowledge is wrong and they can dig deeper.
Yeah, but that's
find the truth.
That's the example I just gave you. That's why God says, and when the statement comes out, we will produce or we will bring forth, just like I told you about the sheep. So God is claiming the responsibility, even though people will create it, but who gave them the knowledge? Because nobody ever created the AI in the past life before. Did anybody in history ever created AI up to our generation now? It just happened in our generation. But who gave them this knowledge? Where did it come from? How can the human being get this? So it is God. Because in the first place, let's talk about Iblis. Who created Iblis? God. Can Iblis have any power without God? Not possible.
No.
You understand? So it is still God, but whatever God creates, just like God created the pig, but he told you don't eat the meat of pig. Just like the angels came at the time of Solomon, and then they taught people something, but they said it is a trial. Don't abuse it. Then the demons took it, the jinns took it into sorcery, and they rather taught it to the people on how to disengage a person, a man and a woman in marriage. Right? So in every aspect of thing that God has created for us, there's the evil aspect of it, and there's a good aspect. Just like you, the human being yourself. When God created you, he says, وَالنَّفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. Then he says, فَالْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. So even when God created you, he made you aware of what is evil and what is good. Right? So in every aspect, even the AI, there's a benefit of AI. You can use AI for a lot of good. Right? A lot of good.
Yeah.
Yes. So like I was writing a book, my second book, right, which gives a breakdown of Islam and against the hadith. So then, with the advent of AI in 2023, I paused the book. I paused. I was like, no, I'm not releasing the book yet. Let me wait. Now I waited almost 3 years now later. Guess what? I gave the book to the AI to analyze certain aspects. You'll be shocked the way the AI was giving me the breakdown.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. That I will never have thought about it that way. It was giving me the breakdown. I was asking the AI if people around 24 to 34 are going to read the book, how does he think that I should arrange it for people around that age to be able to, align with it or to resonate with it? He gave me the breakdown. Then I said the same text I gave it, he should arrange it in the way that people above 40s will read it and align with it. And it gave me. And it still makes sense. And the same breakdown, I gave it and I said, do it as if like teenagers are going to read it. I swear to God, the same text, it changed it in the model that teenagers will read and understand. But back in the days, who ever thought of writing books in that manner? Are you getting my point?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. You just write a book. It's either specifically for kids or specifically for adults. But the AI is giving me a model where in the same book, I can make the same 3 versions for the age groups. And they will read and it makes sense for that age group. And the same information I'm giving, but for the different age group and how they will understand it. And it makes sense. You understand? So that is uniqueness of this. Yeah.
So what are you going to do, Baba? You're going to give us 3 versions, one for each age group?
Well, I'm working on that already. So let's see how it goes. You can use the AI to your advantage in a lot of ways. When the AI was first released, I've watched documentaries on it. Before it was released, I've watched the ChatGPT, the AI, the level it will get to. I've watched documentaries by the experts and the things they discuss and how they said you as a person need to learn how to outsmart the AI always. It is not only about using the benefit of the AI. You have to always be learning how to outsmart it. When you can outsmart it, you can give it assignments.
Mm.
Yeah. If you can outsmart it, you can give it assignments. And it will execute the assignments beautifully for you. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. So people are asking me, hey, is there any possibility you might be updating your translation in the near future? There could be a possibility. Why not?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. There could be a possibility. Yeah. Because look, let me tell you how the AI is. When I did my translation, I used something we call Pandora Box, right? Pandora Box, it's before the AI was released. I did my translation a long time ago. But what Pandora Box does is it gives you access to archives and files that it's not easy for people to get. But now, what the AI does it, things that are hidden, that are hidden somewhere, that it will take you generations to find it. The AI will just bring it with a blink of an eye. You just need to know how to search it. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah.
It is. It is. The AI I'm using, the customized AI I'm using, when we are having a conversation, and I said, if you want to give Baba Shripe a point of view or an idea on how to do this, what do you think? Then he will say, for somebody like Baba Shripe, I need to give him this and not that. So I'll ask it, why not that? He will say, no, somebody of my caliber wouldn't be okay working with that, but instead this. So how do you think the AI was able to decipher this?
So I'm sure. Yeah, I was going to say, so I'm sure you can also customize the AI to to try to be the best mushrik and to try to debate you.
Yes, I debate with my AI.
Yeah.
Yes, we do debate. Sometimes I tell him to represent the mushriks. I just did one. I wanted to share it to a friend the other day. I did one. It's on a file. I wanted to share it to show the person that I told the AI to take the position of a mushrik. Let's have a debate. And the AI, it normally ranks me, right? It normally ranks me between 8 and 9, 8 and 9. I keep doing it because I want it to give me a 10. Right? I keep doing it, keep on giving me 8, 9, 8, 9. But then we swapped the position and I told it to be a Quran alone follower. And guess what? I swear to God, it gave me an idea I've never thought of. And I have it saved.
Can you mention the idea here?
I'm not mentioning that. No, I'm not mentioning. I might use it in a debate, then people will see that. It gave me an idea.
Save it for the big mushriks.
Yes, because let me tell you what it does. The AI reads people, so it can read its opponents. Then when it's reading the opponent, is picking up on your expertise. Okay, let's use this. Do you play video game?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, video games has levels, right? They have easy, medium, difficult, and so on, right? Thank you. So let's use like soccer. You see, when you are playing, you put the legendary. You put at the highest level because you want to test your might. So when you play consecutively, it gets to a point you can predict the way the AI, the computer is playing against you. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Now with the AI, it can pass legendary start level. It is using your expertise to upgrade on its level.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Thank you. So when you are the opponent, it's always weighing up your intellect on how you can outsmart it. Then he's learning from you and adding to his own. So guess what? He has a cloud memory. So his memory is bigger than yours. You get in the direction we are going?
Yeah, I see so much benefits from this because you could use it to make sure you really assert a strong foundation.
Yes.
With your beliefs.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That means you, the person, have to outsmart the AI in order to get that benefit. You need to outsmart it. Then you'll be using that to your own advantage. So, like I said, I'm giving the AI this proponents to see how it can read the way I can have a debate or a dialogue. So the point is, I tell the AI, if I choose this topic and I argue, how do you think I'm likely, as Baba Shaib, how do you think the debate is likely to end if I choose this topic? So it will show me that if you choose this topic, then along the way, you might have to swap. You might have to swap something. Swapping that thing, my opponent would not know what I'm swapping. He wouldn't know what I just did. And we call this cheat code.
Okay, so can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you ever have two AIs try to talk to each other?
I've seen people do that, but let me tell you why I don't value that. When they are challenging each other, I don't call it competitiveness, because if you understand the movies they made out there, like Men Against AI, the AI will first of all tell you he's here to be your companion, but not necessarily your companion. He's here to be your boss. But so when you put AI to AI, it will crash. They have a level that they go, they will use a line of argument you, the human being, will not use when they are arguing with each other. Yeah. Or there's an intellectual level. I see there's a guy called Quran Talks, right? Anybody who knows that channel, right? Quran Talks. He made a discussion, I think, atheist AI with a Christian AI. And he made them have a dialogue. I was watching the dialogue and I could see the loopholes in their logic. Right? I was seeing the loopholes in their arguments.
I see.
Yeah. So yes, it can be used, but I'll tell you, because it's a programming, they will go in a line that will still look like a programming to each other. Yeah. And that's why when you give the AI an assignment to do something, you always need to cross-check. The AI itself will tell you, don't be dependent on it 100%. No.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's the point. Anyways, your next question.
Do I have enough time? Because I'm sorry, I don't want to hold you on for too long.
One more question, so that I go to another person. I might go on TikTok.
Okay, my last question is about Hajj. Because I know the mushriks, they say Hajj is like a 3-day window or something. But when I was reading the Quran, I saw that it mentioned that there were months for the Hajj. And I looked further into it, and it's inferring that it's during the 4 blessed months. Now I know in the calendar, the 4 blessed months are Rajab, Muharram, Dhul Qa'dah, and Dhul Hijjah. But I wanted to ask, because are those the right blessed months? Because also Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram are 3 months after the other. But Rajab is in the middle of the year. So do we have 2 different windows to do Hajj in one calendar year?
Those sacred months by the sectarians is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
really?
not correct. That is a sacred month coming from the Hadith books. It's wrong, totally wrong. They have Muharram, Rajab, Zulqa'dah, Zulhijjah. No, it's not correct. Have you ever asked a sectarian what is the most sacred months in Islam?
They say Ramadan. But
Thank you. That's hypocrisy. If they say it is Ramadan and yet it is not part of the 4 sacred months, there's a problem.
too. But that's why I'm asking. So if the Quran says that the Hajj is in certain months, how do we know what those months are? If the mushriks said that these 4 months are the blessed months.
I have a full lecture on it, but that's why God mentioned Ramadan by name, because the month of Ramadan is to help you determine the sacred months. What do we use Ramadan for? Who do we dedicate it to? Who do we dedicate Ramadan to? The month of Ramadan.
I don't know.
We dedicate it to God.
Oh, okay, yeah, to God, yeah.
Yeah. He said it in Quran chapter 2, verse 185, so that you may magnify God during the number of days, period of days. You magnify him. That is a special month for that dedication, even though it is there to make you get closer to piousness. But that is what the word haram is signified, sacred. To make something sacred. When it's sacred, you dedicate it to God for a religious purpose. So God mentioned Ramadan so that you know the 9th month on the Hijr calendar. When you continue Shawwal, Zulqa'dah, Zulhijjah, that is 4 months consecutively. When you read Surah At-Tawbah chapter 9, verse 1, when you read up to verse 5, it tells you those 4 months which has been given to the polytheists and the kafir to roam the earth is consecutive. Then chapter 9, verse 28 clearly tells you when those sacred months have passed, right? After this year of theirs, they should not be allowed. So which means that 4 months they are going to have consecutively from Ramadan, Shawwal, Zulqa'dah, Zulhijjah. The next year is Muharram. That is January. The first month. It's Muharram. That's why it's called Muharram, the forbidden month. It is forbidden for the mushriks to come to the Masjid al-Haram. That's why it's called Muharram. So that's why the last month on the Hijr calendar is called Zulhijjah, because it is to mark the end of the Hajj, the month of Hajj. So the Hajj, you can stipulate for yourself whichever month you want to do after Ramadan, Shawwal, Zulqa'dah, Zulhijjah, anyone you choose, you can do Hajj inside. According to Quran chapter 2, verse 197. Al-Hajju Ashurul Mahlumat. right? Ma'lumat. And even when you take the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, start reading from chapter 2, verse 183. When it talks about Ramadan, the Siyam, when you continue reading up to 194, you see it's talking straight to about Hajj. So from Ramadan to Hajj.
Well, doesn't this show you how evil the mushriks are? Because you see how many people die because you have over 1 billion Muslims all confining themselves in this small space for 3 days, and they all trample over each other, they stomp on each other. So many people die, and then they end up spending so much money, like almost $50,000. When if people knew the truth that they have these 4 months, you have a lot of time to do it. You know, it's very evil.
Yes, is that, but because that's the idea of the devil, is to get people, squeezed up. Quran chapter 22, verse 78, God says he is the one who has chosen you and has not placed any difficulty upon you in the religion. So if anything you do in Islam is difficult, then you should ask yourself a second question.
Yeah, because the Hajj one was a big thing for me when I saw that it said it was in months.
Yeah, it's months. Yes, it's months. And they reduced it to just 10 days only. But let me show you something. When you go to the masjid, you are going to pray. They segregate men and women, right?
Yeah.
Why?
They say so that the men will be distracted by the women.
Okay. But when you go to the Hajj, what happens?
Yeah, they're all together.
When you go to kissing the stone, what happens?
Yeah, they're all together trying to kiss the stone, and they bump into each other and everything.
Yeah. It can never be from God. God never instructed that. You understand? That's why God gave you the months, so that it can be done freely without any squeezing, without any. That is not the way God wants Hajj to be done.
Because even when I would talk to a lot of Muslims who did Hajj, you think it's a spiritual journey and it was amazing. They come back complaining to me. They said, I hated it.
Yeah.
So how can this be from God then?
It's not organized. It's not that. Of course, there's some element of truth, but that's not how they do it. The way they did it is wrong. The way they do it is wrong.
But I also think it's intentionally wrong.
Yeah, of course, the devil knows what he's doing there.
Yeah.
That's why the devil said they should come and stone him. Even though they don't see him, they should come and stone him.
Yeah, he's laughing at them.
Of course. He's laughing at them, of course. Can you imagine stoning somebody you cannot see?
Yeah, and the person told you to stone him.
Yes, the devil himself told him, because God never said anything like that. And he said they should come and kiss the black stone also. Idol worship.
Yeah, I know that one's crazy.
They said, Umar said, oh, if not because the prophet did kissed you, I wouldn't have kissed you, because you cannot do me any benefit. Hey, why are you kissing?
No, and the hadith said that somebody heard Umar say this.
Yes,
he was saying it in private also.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So to them, but they said the devil fears the Umar. So the devil cannot mislead Umar. Yeah. They said the devil fears Umar more than the prophet. Yeah. So you see, the reason why scholars don't want people to study hadith books, because it's full of trash. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's why they don't want.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So they want people to stay away from it. Then they will be the one cherry picking and presenting the issues to you, because they know when you go there to check, you'll be like, what a sacrilege. What is this? You don't understand. So Quran is a book of guidance for mankind. God wants people to read it, study it, contemplate, and understand the message. But the scholars tell you, Akhi, no, you cannot understand this book. Even though God says Kitabu Mubin, they said, no, Akhi, it's not Mubin. You understand? Then they go and bring verses they don't understand to confuse you. To say, how can you understand this verse? It's difficult. Look, academically, that's why we go stages in school. You don't expect everything from school to be taught to you in stage 1. You keep on reading, keep on reading. If you don't understand any verse or any topic, underline it, write it on the jotter, keep it aside. Keep on reading the book. Another verse will explain the issue for you. Because the Quran is based on inspiration. That's why God told the Prophet, وَلَا تَعْجَلْ بِالْقُرْآنِ أَنْ يُكْدَى مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يُكْدَى إِلَيْكَ وَحْيُهُ. You shouldn't hasten with the Quran before its inspiration is completed to him. Then he should say what? وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي إِلْمًا. Then you should tell God to increase you in knowledge. Because knowledge needs increments. The more you read, the more you know. The more you study, the more you know. When you stop reading, the less you know. When you read more, you know more. When you study more, you understand, you know more. This is how life is. So Quran, the more you read, the more information is coming. It's a gem. People will say, why did God give the allegory of saying that if the ocean was ink and the trees were pens, the ocean will run out before the words of God will run out. This is an allegorical statement. People don't understand. Somebody will say, Quran is just 114 chapters. Why will God say the ocean will run out? This big ocean, how can it run out? Because the point is, God can say one statement, but you can get about 1,000 lessons from that one statement.
Yeah, because 1,400 years later, we still get new things from those words.
Yes, yes. That is the uniqueness of the Quran. And that is why God is telling us, Yasi, that he says, Wal Quran al Hakim, by the wise Quran. Then you have some bozos out there telling you, no, the hikmah is not in the
Kitab al
Quran.
Hikmah.
Yes. Then you say, no, there's no hikmah in the Quran. Come to the comedy books. That's where the hikmah is. You understand? The Quran is a wise book. So it's talking to wise. What did they tell the Prophet? Inna salulika alayka qawlan thakila. Chapter 73, when you read from 1 downwards, it's telling the Prophet, we are going to cast a heavy word upon you. Now, the reason why God is calling the Quran a heavy word, because a word to a wise is enough. A wise statement given to a wise person might sound heavy, but it is simple for a wise person. But to an ignorant person, how does a simple word sound? It sounds heavy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the wise person will be able to understand, because the Quran, when you follow the Quran, it gives you wisdom. It opens up your intellect, your IQ. You start to have sharp thoughts. You start to see things that people don't see. Then you'll be wondering, how come my people don't see what I'm seeing? Yeah, they cannot see. Because it's not the eyes which is blind, it's the heart. So yeah, thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining. Or do you have another question for me?
I'm gonna be honest. I have so many questions, but I don't want to keep you late. I'll come back another time. It's okay.
Don't force the questions. Yes, this is okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because I'm sorry I came late. The time difference is a bit difficult, if I'm being honest. But
yeah, I actually started late. I think I announced late, maybe 1 hour before I came online. I didn't announce earlier on, but I knew people would know that on Wednesdays I do. If I'm not doing it, I normally put a notice that I'm not doing. So I know people already know. That's why sometimes I'm not in a hurry to put information out there. But anyways, the last thing I will say is they will tell you that Laylatul Qadr, that God is coming to the first heaven and he's calling people to call him, to come and to get up in the night and call him, that he will answer their prayers. But where has God been since? I thought God was already next to us. He's closer to us than our jugular vein.
Even Laylatul Qadr, like I don't understand. They think it's a cheat code where they'll get the dua accepted and it's better than 1,000 months and they go straight to heaven.
That's what I'm saying.
If they get the specific day.
They say God is coming to the first heaven. So where was God all this while? Because the last time I checked, God says he's closer to us. And God says in chapter 57, verse 4, he's with you wherever you are. He's there. And he said in Quran chapter 2, verse 186, he's near. He's near. He says, when my servant asks you about me, inni kareeb, ujibu da'watu da'i iza da'ani. He says he answered the supplication of a supplicant whenever you supplicate. He's listening. He's with you. But the mushriks are telling us this is the night, Laylatul Qadr. He's going to come to the first heaven. The first heaven is even far. It's far. It's very far. First heaven. Look, you sit in the aeroplane even. They don't reach the first heaven. So they say he comes to the first heaven and they say God is listening. Which servant is going to call me so that I can answer their prayer? I don't know which God said that. In which book? Yes, about us. So their books is full of comment. If you give me the chance, put any hadith book down, I can break it down into pieces and let you know the trash in their statement.
Baba, I played this game with my friends. I don't even open specific hadith books. We'll put a random number and always a stupid hadith comes. You don't even need to look.
Yeah. It's always stupid. Look, the wisest statement they have in the hadith books is the one telling you to follow the Quran alone. The book I'm writing has to do with something like that. They're from their own hadith books. It gives you references that shows you should follow the Quran alone. As a matter of fact, there is no single hadith. Listen, I'm going to repeat. There is no single hadith where Prophet said the people of the hadith are the people of God. There is no single hadith where the Prophet says the people who follow the Quran and Sunnah are the ones going to paradise. There is no single hadith where the Prophet said the Sunnah is a revelation. There is no single hadith where the Prophet said whoever follows hadith books is the true Muslim. There is no single hadith.
Yeah, the only one they refer to is the one about 72 sects, and their sect is the right one.
That is still confusion because God does not approve in sects.
Yeah, exactly. Also, all of hadith is just dhan.
Yes, it is. It's conjecture, it's guesswork, it's opinionated book, hearsay. How can you use hearsay as a tangible source?
Yeah, imagine in the law courts, you can't use that to win a case.
No.
But they want to convince you that the ultimate truth, this is how you get to it.
Akhi, remind me your name before you go. What's your name?
Hamid.
Hamid. Do you remember that when they said a Muslim dies, you go to the grave, the angels will come to you, and then they ask you, Ma Rabbuka?
Yeah.
Ma Dinuka? Ma Nabiyuka? But when it gets to the kitab, what do they say? Ma Kitabaka?
Yeah.
But it doesn't say Kitabain. It says Kitabaka, right? And then when it says Ma Kitabaka, what is your book? What will you say? You say the Quran, right?
Quran, yeah.
But why don't they say Kitab was Sunnah?
Because they even know.
They don't say Quran was Sunnah there. So that means they are lying to the angel.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Because on earth, they are saying that Quran or Sunnah is mandatory. But when you die and go to the grave, the angel questioning you, according to them, you are going to say Quran. That's a cheat code. That's a lie. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are use this argument against them, ask them, why is it that when we die, according to your hadith, we are going to answer that the book of God alone? Yeah, Abu Bakasu. You get the point? You ask them.
Yeah.
As any scholar you meet, you just ask this question. They will be stunned looking at you dead in the eye like this. Just ask them. They don't have any hadith which says you say Kitab was Sunnah or Kitab or something. Quran was. No, you only say Quran, according to them. Their own books goes against them. As a matter of fact, look, their own book says the people of the Quran, we are the people of God. But nowhere will you find where it says the people of hadith are people of God. Because we all know the people of hadith are the people of devil, shaitan. That we know. It's a fact.
Yeah, that's why we call them mushriks.
Yes. And that's why they are not happy. They say we are insult. Mushrik is not an insult. It's not an insult because even kafir, to call somebody kafir is not an insult. You remember Surah Al-Kafirun, chapter 109, when the Prophet...
Yeah, lakum dinukum waliya din.
Yes, he says, Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Is that an insult? No. They know they are kafirs. They know.
It's an observation.
Thank you. Just like the mushriks. They said Islam cannot be practiced without the Quran and Sunnah. Is that what they said? Is that not what they said?
Yeah.
So that is mushrik. Because a shirk is to associate something with something. You don't have permission. So God says in Quran chapter 7, verse 33, وَأَن تُشْرِكُوا بِاللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يُنَزِّلْ بِهِ sultanan. It's haram. So if you are associating something with God and He never gave you permission, what does that become? Is that a shirk?
Yeah, because you're saying God's words are not sufficient.
Thank you. So that is mushriks. And I keep telling them, come and face me, let me prove. They run away. And then they stand far away. They say, this guy is calling Muslims mushriks. What did I call Muslims? How can a Muslim be a mushrik? A Muslim is a Muslim, and a Muslim is a Muslim, and a mushrik is a mushrik. Anyways, thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah,
Enjoy your time.
Thank you. Sorry for keeping you so late.
No, don't worry. Keep on watching. I might end this stream and go to TikTok. I might not stay too long because my nose, I need to drink tea again. But anyways, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Stay tuned. Peace. Yeah. So guys, all these things I'm saying, it's not a joke. Write it down. Use it against them. Use it against the mushriks, whether they are scholars, use it against them. Yes. If you are here, you follow the Quran. Be rest assured, those following the hadith, the hadith book is telling them that if you change your religion, they should terminate you. They say if you change your religion, they should terminate you. Yes, that's what the hadith books tell them to do. So beware. If you are dealing with these hadith followers, they are dangerous. That is why you have the ISIS and so on. So beware of these bozos. They are very, very dangerous. Yeah. Okay, guys, just a second. Let me play this special song. Last time I was supposed to play it. I didn't play it in full. I wasn't happy about it. So let me play this song for you. It's a good song. A dedication by Sister Khadija. So thank you for this wonderful masterpiece, right? Come on, guys. A round of applause, 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 applause. This is just a masterpiece. Oh my God. Yeah, salam to you. Radmon Farouk, I see you, my brother. So guys, I'll be ending the stream. If there's no more questions and a caller, I need to end the stream. I'm going to TikTok, right? So if you want to have fun, kindly join me for, this is the after party. The after party. Join me. Ben. That's what the mushrik says. They say music is haram, right? And they say I'm a kafir if I listen to music. And yes, that's what the mushrik will say. Remember, Sister Khadija, I hope this song is made in Saudi, because if it's from Saudi, it's halal. You remember Asim Al-Hakim says he drinks beer, and because it's from Saudi, it is halal. So I think this song is from Saudi also. So it's halal, brother Ben Mirtes. Don't worry, it's halal. Yes, Ines Dreddy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, Ola, I'm about to go to TikTok. Why are you calling now? Please, Ola. Oh. Ola, why? Oh, Ola, I wanted to go to TikTok. Why are you calling?
Assalamu alaikum, Baba.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Mubarak. You should have called me on TikTok now. Why did you call me here now?
Oh, because I couldn't sleep so.
I was about to jump to TikTok. I was ending the stream here.
I was listening to the nice music.
Yeah, it's a lovely music. It's a lovely song. Yeah, it is.
If you have time, could you please give me your idea about itikaf? You said something about dialectical. but
Let-
they have pushed it down our throats.
yeah.
And I would like to hear your idea about the itikaf and the lilac economy.
Yeah. Okay. The notion of itikaf is found in Quran chapter 2, verse 187. It's about abiding, staying in the mosque, staying at the masjid. But it is not it's not a requirement part of that. We have people who want to go to the masjid and stay. Like if you go to Saudi Arabia right now, the masjid, we have people who are trying to stay there, lie there. You understand? Stay there to do their fast. They feel like when they are there, they feel more closer to God, or this is the perception they have. But the notion of itikaf is not meant for you and I who are based in somewhere else. Like to go and stay in the mosque. No.
Okay.
So the word itikaf is like abiding or staying somewhere for temporary. But it doesn't necessitate that you have to do it as a requirement. No. No. Then again, when we say Laylatul Qadr has already happened. It doesn't mean it's continuous, it's still happening. No, it has already happened. That decision God made to reveal that blessed book in that blessed night. That blessed night, God is saying, is better than 83 or 84 years. That is 1,000 months. You understand? So the value of what you are going to get from the Quran is better than staying on earth for your life for 84 years of your life. That is what is meant by that. But it doesn't mean Laylatul Qadr. So you have to go every night. You have to look. Sometimes they will say 17th or 27th. Sometimes they say it's on the 23rd. You have to look for the night. Now, why will God be playing lotteries with us? You know, it's like lotteries. They say, oh, wait for a 27th. And sometimes when we were kids, when we go to the masjid to go and pray and it rains, and then we say, oh, God has answered our prayers. Oh. But still they are mushriks. You understand? The sin that God doesn't forgive is to die as a mushrik. Any other sin is negotiable. God can forgive. But you see, if you die as an idolater, that is out of coverage area. Sanalicious, you are laughing. Sana, why are you laughing? It's true now. Right now, when you go to, it's the same in Nigeria, right? If you go to Ghana right now, in the night, people don't sleep. They take their sajada, you know the sajda, the prayer mat. They carry it on their neck. They wear their white jalbab, and then they go in the night. Some of them they sleep whilst the imam is saying is reciting. Yeah, you are sleeping because God says do. It tells you don't approach the salat unless you know what you are saying. So if look, a lot of them, if you put them line, you say, what did the scholar say? You say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana, Ameen, wa fil akhirati hasana, Ameen. That Ameen you are saying, I swear, ask him, what did the Imam say? He doesn't know. But he is saying Ameen. And I remember back in my days, the scholar we used to follow in the NEMA, it's called NEMA research. They used to pray against America. They say, Allahumma dammir President Bush, dammir America. But these same scholars, now they are ambassadors for America. They take visa and go to America up and down. Yeah. Yeah. So that's... Mom,
do you have
Silent Baba, I think it's from your side. Guys, is my... Wait. Is my sound working? The Silent Baba, I think it's from your side.
Okay.
Maybe you go off YouTube and come back. Yeah, Brother Ola, your question.
So, do you have, because I know in Bakra, I think 215 or something, about the about the itikaf. And I think that reference was for Nabi Ibrahim, for people going to the harbor.
As a place of resort. That place is a resort. When we go there, you can stay there. But now if you go, they don't allow you to enter even the house. Yeah.
So now they joined the two, Laylatul Qadr and the itikaf together, and they've made it compulsory for people now. Now, do we have a reference? Like if I'm having an argument with you, They have a reference for me.
There's no where God says it's compulsory. It's not in the Quran. Where God says it's compulsory for you to go and do that. No, it's not. No. As a matter of fact, let me tell you why the Laylatul Qadr is even nonsensical. Let me tell you why it's nonsense. That prayer, that night prayer that they are talking about, why it's nonsensical. According to them, what is the justification? They say God is coming back down to the first heaven, right?
Exactly. And angels as well.
They say, okay, they are coming to the first heaven. Now, where was God before?
God is everywhere.
God is everywhere. Chapter 57, verse 4, he is with you wherever you are. And chapter 2, verse 186, he says he's near. He's near you. He's near. Whenever you pray, he can hear you and he answer your prayer. So if God is already near, why is he now coming to the first heaven to do what again? You understand? So their justification for the Laylatul Qadr is that is the night God will answer all your prayers. Look, some of our parents are still poor. They are still poor till today. They are dead.
It is true.
I'm serious.
It is true. It is true.
They are still poor till today. Look, the community I came from, I see some of the guys there, they never miss Laylatul Qadr, but they are still, I went and see them, they are wretched still. Because we have been lied to. You understand?
Exactly.
We have been lied to. And this is why I'm trying to liberate my people, to liberate people all around the world, for us to understand that we've been fooled. I'm not saying there's no aspect of ritual or prayer or in Islam. It is, but not the ones the scholars are pushing us to do. No. No.
When you ask them, when you tell them there are three salat in the Quran, they say, okay, how do you know what verses that you, how do you know that you should recite Quran or something? Who taught you that? How do you get to know that?
The Quran says,
is it not the hadith?
No, it's not the hadith.
Explain that to you.
It's not the hadith. Look, if people say that, tell that person, bring me full hadith, which explains prayer to you from beginning to end, how to do it. They don't have it. They don't have. You will never find a particular hadith which give you a full description of salah, that if you are going to start a salah, say the ikama, you should call the ikama, come and stand like this and do this till the end. No, they don't have that salat where the Prophet taught them that way. No. What they do is they go to different hadith collections, we call it cherry picking. They go different hadiths and join everything together. That's what they do. These are the same people who told you when you are in your salah and you sit down and you do this on your knee, like this. If you do this in your salat and you are doing this, you are whipping the devil. Yeah, they say, especially some people will be doing this. I don't know why they do that. But they say, if you do this, they say don't do it fast. You do it slowly, like this. According to Asim al-Hakim, he says you do it one like this. He says you are whipping the devil. I'm serious. Like they created a comedy type of religion, and people don't see that because they value the scholars. They see somebody like Mufti Menk, Zakir Naik. You can never think of them to be bozos. You might think they are intellectual. They are not. I'm serious. Zakir Naik said you can drink the camel urine. You can eat their poop. He said you can do all that, but he is blaming the Hindus for eating cow dung and drinking the cow pee. He's blaming them. But there's the same Zakir Naik say you can do that. He says it's halal. I did the video on it. I have the video. I did a lecture on that. Talib says my sound, check it. Really? Guys, is something wrong with my sound? Talib, something wrong with my sound? Really? Those on TikTok can hear me too, because TikTok I'm using a different sound. But those on YouTube, please let me know. Is something wrong with my sound?
Anyway, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Ola. Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Peace. Okay. Guys, I have to go to TikTok now, right? I've gotten some hot tea to relieve me of my, okay. Ines Dreddy says, keep cutting off. Some people say it's perfect. Some people say it's cutting off. Strange. But anyways, I'm ending the stream. I'm going to TikTok. I'm already on TikTok, but now I'm going full out on TikTok. And I know some mushriks are there to join. We have 90 people watching already. The sound cut out on YouTube. Really? Let me check. On YouTube, the sounds cuts off. That's strange. That's strange. On YouTube, the sounds cuts off. It's working. That's strange. Yes, thank you very much. Arif, amazing. Thank you. The sound is good. Yeah. Anyways. Ayan Ahmed says the sound is good. Yes, thank you, guys. Anyways, I'm going to TikTok. It's 2 hours 45 minutes. I don't want it to be very long. When the video is too long, it's boring, right? I know some people will say they enjoy watching my videos, but like I don't want it to be very long. So I'm going to stick on TikTok now. So guys, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. God bless you all. Ramadan Mubarak to you all. Ramadan is coming to an end in maybe 7 days time. Kindly enjoy, take the best of it, and pray for success, and pray to gain dominance over your enemies, whoever it may be, right? Always pray for that. And that's what correctional officer I always pray for, God to give me dominance over my enemies in every aspect, right? So thank you very much. And also, some people will say, okay, am I not speaking about the war? And I've already done videos on it. I've spoken about it last week. If you want to see what I said, go and watch my last week lecture. I spoke about the war concerning Iran and USA and Israel. You understand? So, yeah. Thank you very much. This is where correctional officer brings the topic to an end on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Facebook, right? It's coming to an end. So I'm staying on TikTok. If you want to have fun, join me. I have 2 hours to spare on TikTok. So kindly join me. So thank you very much. All right. Hey, I see Juma Lubega. They may have poor network. It could be. There's a possibility. Yes, on YouTube, the sound cut it on for the song skipped a lot. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Sister Khadija, I got your message, but I think a lot of people said they heard the song clearly, so it was strange why that happened. But it could be, there's a possibility. We will get to know when the playback plays. When there's a playback, we'll get to know if it's actually like that or not, right? So hopefully, things are okay, right? Yeah. Thank you very much, Rifi. Fun character bouncing their hats sharp ponytail with stars in their eye. Thank you, Rifi, for the gifts from Australia, right? Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you. Ines Dreddy, great liar. Yes, you're welcome to TikTok, right? Thank you. Abu Thomas, thank you. See you on TikTok. All of you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the calls. God bless you all. Till we meet again, hopefully Sunday. Now I've changed my live stream. No more Saturdays. It's Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays and Sunday nights. Right? No more Saturdays. Right? So that is what it is. So let's end with Asim Al-Hakim's video. That is the video I'm going to end with. Asim Al-Hakim.
Moses, peace be upon him, used to go to a far secluded place and bathe in the river away from people. So the Jews, being who they are, people of gossiping and slandering. Now we know. Moses is not covering himself and bathing far away because he has small private parts. So one day Allah ordered the stone which Moses put his clothes on to run away. So when he got off the water, he saw the stone, the rock, running away with his clothes. So he started running after it to get his clothes and cover himself up. He reached the stone stopped, he put on his clothes, and he started beating the stone with his staff because he was so angry of what had happened.
Always give them a reason to remember your name. The correctional officer.